Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Techpedition Podcast. I just want to say up top, there were some audio issues, largely on my part. So if you can hold on and stay with us, you can join in because there is still a lot of good nuggets to be had in this episode. So here we go.
This is the Techpedition Podcast, where we usually talk about technology, tech news, video games, or whatever else we feel like talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Case in point. My name is Kary Brown, and I'm here with my longtime co-host, Clarence. How is it going, brother?
It is going quite great, sir. Quite great.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Had the halvesies week. Holiday in the middle of the week, so you know how that goes.
Yeah, I took Monday and Tuesday off, so I got to work Thursday, and I was like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I got in the office like, half the people weren't there, but that's how it goes.
And these 2 weeks are just short for me because this coming week I have to work Monday and Tuesday, and then we have the Kansas City Developer Conference, which starts Wednesday. So I'll be doing that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
You went to last year?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I was supposed to come this year. Dang it.
Yeah, we kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, there's always next year.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, has there been any tech happenings going on this week?
It's
been kind of slow, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of been a bit of a slow burn or something. I found a few things though. I don't really know what I want to lead off with. Oh, yes, I do. We as gamers and as longtime Steam users, I know we both been using Steam for a long time, ever since the orange box.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the orange box?
Oh, yeah.
Which basically Valve forced you to install Steam to play Team Fortress 2, basically. Carl loves that game. Shout out, Carl. So basically, this whole time, I've just been assuming that Valve's just been killing it and they're selling an ungodly amount of games. And apparently, over the last week, Valve's API, apparently some people scan it to get information.
Mm-hmm.
They have publicly accessible data, like the number of players for Steam games or whatever. But apparently this past week, there was a moment in time where they actually leaked Steam players and sales and stuff.
Okay, so I'm guessing this didn't turn out as good as we thought it would be.
Well, it's actually quite informative. One of the games, you can kind of get some hard numbers of the amount of games they've sold. Of certain games up until I think July 1st was when this happened. So just looking through the list, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Just to call out a few games that I play a lot, like Rocket League on Steam. Rocket League sold about 10 million copies, which is pretty insane.
What's the time frame for this again?
I think this is everything until July 1st of 2018.
Gee, oof. Yeah, that is kind of impressive.
So wow. Yeah, it sold a lot. And we also have, what else do we have up here? Gary's mod, which has been around forever. I mean, since the Source engine was released with Half-Life 2, that's apparently sold about 18 million copies. It gets better. So I don't see Grand Theft Auto. Okay, Grand Theft Auto 5 is on here. Now this is just on Steam. So
wait,
the sale numbers are actually higher than this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So is that player estimate the amount of sales they got or the amount of people playing?
I believe it's the amount of people playing it on Steam, which
is still ridiculous.
Translates to if they're playing it on Steam, then
roughly the amount.
They had to have purchased it on Steam to be playing it on Steam. So I'm liking it. I'm likening it to sales numbers, though. I guess not necessarily that they're sale numbers.
But the ones at the top two, I did not expect to be there. Which, of course, Valve Team Fortress 2. That game's
50 million.
Jesus,
50 million.
Then Counter-Strike.
Some of my friends always joke. We always joke and say, Valve used to make games and now they make money. This is pretty insane. And we have classics like Team Fortress 2, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, which have been around forever. Left 4 Dead 2 has been around forever. That was 23 million. Warframe 16 million, but that's a free game, so whatever. Skyrim 13 million. But a game that is relatively new that we play from time to time, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
36,604,134.
Yeah.
So that's how many people are playing that game on Steam, which means that's how many people that have bought it on Steam, which makes sense since it's a Steam. It was a Steam
that
early.
number is ridiculous, though. Yeah.
That is like insane. Like I'm just trying to wrap my head around that. Like, what incentive do they have to finish the game if the game's not even officially released and they've sold 36 million copies?
Yeah. That's
at $30 a pop. Let's do the math. $29.99, which they just discounted it. So this is kind of a rough estimate. So $29.99 times 36,000,000. That is one. They have over $1 billion in sales from PUBG.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, someone did get rich, Andy. I agree. So
insane.
So let me spin the question kind of premise on its head a bit. So what do we think about the siloization of game publishers in their own launchers? Because it just seems like it keeps getting more and more ridiculous. I mean, long gone are the days of just installing the game on your PC and launching it from typing it in and hitting the icon. You have to do the launcher, then do the game. I mean, are we okay with all of the games going into their own publisher-focused silos to be played and launched?
Well, I mean, I think at this point it's kind of just a normal thing. Like, I have Ubisoft, I have Origin, I have...
It's ridiculous.
Bethesda has one. Blizzard has one. I haven't even counted Steam yet, so that's 5 right there that I have installed on my machine. I'm probably missing one. GLG has a launcher, but their games are DRM free. You buy them and you get an EXE, and you don't even have to install that. So, that's nice. Did I say Epic?
Yeah, Epic is one, of course.
So that's 6. Epic.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts, man. It's kind of nuts, but
at the same time, I understand. Like, it is inconvenient for us, but I can understand why a publisher would not want to have their livelihood dependent upon Steam, for a number of reasons. One, which won't happen, Valve could go under and then they have to reissue all the games. 2, Valve could just start like raising their royalty rate or something, and then they have to pay more per sale. It's like,
and that's the thing. Like, I don't know what the Valve percentage is, but I mean,
I think it's like 30%. It's a lot.
Yeah, and that adds up when you're selling millions of copies. Why don't we just keep that money for ourselves? So I guess I do get the reasoning behind it.
And then Ubisoft, what's interesting is Ubisoft has their own launcher, but they still sell games on Steam. So, like, you buy a game on Steam and you launch it from Steam, then it launches the Ubisoft launcher, and then it launches the game.
Shoot me now.
Madness. It's madness, folks.
Shoot me now.
We live in interesting times, but I guess it's enough about Valve, and I guess the moral of the story is Valve still makes a lot of money.
So
yes, Andy, we do need to make a video game.
So I'm gonna pivot a little bit. Reviews are all the craze. Reviews on Amazon, reviews on Netflix, reviews on whatever. Reviews. So, did you even know that Netflix had written reviews?
Written?
Yeah, written reviews.
Are you serious?
They do. Written user submitted reviews. They're canceling that, which they made this big announcement, but I don't even think it's really a big deal because, like you just made the face, I think most people don't even know they have them. I think it's more of a
so, like, can you context that for me? Does that mean like you go to the?
It's mostly a legacy thing. So you're not going to see the written reviews, of course, on the apps. Maybe if you go to the website, you will see them. But I think I've even submitted a written review on Netflix back in the day. But as less and less people actually go to the website, I imagine 95% of people are launching Netflix from the app. They have totally gotten away from their user reviews. They said they're going to put an end to it. And it's all going to be star rating reviews now, which I think is probably more valuable to them. So, it's just It's a piece of infrastructure they can get away from and focus on what really matters. Getting your star reviews so they can curate what the next best thing is you're going to watch, which they do a fairly good job most of the time.
Yeah, I do have to say, I recently resubbed to Netflix to start watching Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Because I wanted to see the Bill Burr episode, which was hilarious, by the way. I'm a big Bill Burr. I'm a huge Bill Burr fan. Like, he's like my favorite comedian, and he is hilarious. He uses a lot of expletives, but he is hilarious and he's no nonsense. He keeps it real. But yeah, and I started watching the chef show that was the spinoff of Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Chef's Table, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this. There's like a whole season of it where people just make like pastry dessert chefs. And it'll just make, any of those shows will make you hungry, but it's just really interesting to like, but anyway, yeah, so, those star reviews are really usul to me. And, you have the thumbs up and the thumbs down. And,
I said star review, but they even gotten away from the star reviews now and only have the thumbs up and thumbs down, which is pretty amazing. They can use those analytics to kind of give you correct or mostly correct shows that you might want to watch.
It's funny though, because I mean, back when I was actually still writing articles, before I realized that people just scroll down to the end to see what the rating is, and they don't bother to read what you spent hours writing.
Oh no, never.
We even actually, back when Techpedition was more of a article format site,
yeah.
we actually, I remember us having a discussion about this, because it's like, on a scale from 1 to 10, what is a 5 really? Like, does that help anybody? I mean, it really boils down to, did you enjoy this or did you not enjoy it? And I really struggled with that for a while. So the thumbs up, thumbs down thing, I really like, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I think like reviews as a whole, I mean, getting away from the analytics and the way Netflix uses it, but if you just want to like go and read a review, I think now it's moved more to you find people who are like-minded in the way you think, and you see that they like something. Oh, I'm probably going to like it too. So you can't just take a blanket review. It could be like a movie purist that, are all about watching all the Oscar movies and all this stuff. And their views they could be like totally different from yours. So,
exactly.
So you just need to find someone that you trust that kind of has the same tendencies or likes and dislikes that you have as far as movies or even video games go, and listen to that person. That's what I was just but
great advice.
Yeah. So man, I do have to also move on to talk about a very sad moment. I don't have anything to pour out right now, but Toys R Us is dead, man.
I would pour one out for Toys R Us, but I just made a whole bit out of this, so I'm going to drink it. But yeah, dude, like, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us, blah, 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 blah.
That's
like,
such a staple.
Yeah, that's like a part of my childhood. Like, that, another part of my childhood has been ruined, much like the Cosby Show.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just sad It's sad to walk into, a dying Toys R Us, half the store has been pillaged and you're going in to find a last minute deal. Oh, and you see the big closeout banner right below the Toys R Us sign.
Oh man.
Sad, man.
So we have a Babies R Us and Toys R Us here, and you're right. It's just really, really sad. And it's like, we have this Walmart that's like by the hospital that my daughter Maya was born in, that I would go to while we were staying there. We stayed there for like a week, and we'd go there and get stuff. And this Walmart was like the Walmart where Walmarts go to die. It was like you remember the first Walmart that was in Brookhaven? That was like, it was like a little matchbox, and like everything was just like that's what the Toys R Us reminded me of, is like,
oh man.
It was so sad. And I saw a Reddit post where somebody was going into a Toys R Us store that was closing, and they saw like this box sticking out from like under one of the shelves or the aisles, and he pulled it out, and it was this dusty Mario Kart 64 box. And of course, the game was not inside, so it was something that somebody skeeved the game and then stuffed the box under the aisle.
Oh God. So one thing that Toys R Us did, they did their yearly, Christmas big toy paper where you can go in and mark the toys you want for Christmas, all this type of things. So funny thing is, like, Amazon is going to do something very similar to kind of push going to Amazon and, maybe something a little more tangible for kids to go and circle and leave on the table for the parents to find and maybe, to know what they actually want for Christmas, which, it's just funny, like how everything is just online. I mean, it's just online, like, just for things I wanted. I mean, toys are related or not, if I want to go buy a wash and dryer, I'm probably going to look online first before I go into Lowe's to actually see one physically. Or I might not even go there at all. I might just order it online and tell them to deliver it, So it's a different world, man. It's a different world.
It's so funny because, like, as you say that, I'm giggling because, like, if it were not for like perishable food items, I would never go into a store, a physical store, like ever. So, and now, like, the Walmart here, they actually you can order your groceries and they'll bring them to you. So, like, even that's going away.
Wait, bring them to your house?
Yeah, they'll deliver them.
Wow.
We haven't tried it yet, but they have like a little kiosk set up last time I was in our Walmart, and they were just saying, hey, well, they have to, because if they don't, Amazon and Whole Foods and like there's all these courier services now where you don't even have to like leave your house to get McDonald's.
Yeah.
You just pay somebody $2 and they go get it, which I wouldn't want people to go pick up my food. That just kind of weirds me out.
Yeah. Which, man, it's so weird how things are flipping. I mean, if something ever happens to Walmart, I feel like it's just going to be horrible. Because it's like the last bastion of large retail store to go in and buy things at, man. If something ever happened to Walmart, man, we would just be screwed. Because first Walmart came and shut down pretty much every mom and pop across the nation. And
they jacked their prices up.
and now you're having Amazon come around and do the same thing online. It's just craziness, man. It's a different world.
I'm just waiting to see on my news feed that like Amazon has purchased Walmart for like $54 billion in stock and in cash.
Say it ain't so, Billy.
That just scares me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want anything like to be just under one company, like anything. So it's getting that way, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, sir.
I'm actually, since we talked about that, I'm actually surprised that like Amazon didn't like try to like buy Toys R Us or buy their name or something, because there's like a gazillion stores. I mean, they could have. Well, they may have been too much in debt or something. When you buy a company, you buy their debts too. So,
well, according to our article that we were looking at here, it does state that Amazon did consider.
They did.
Yeah, they did consider buying Toys R Us, but it's a large retail undertaking, and when you're buying anything that's dying, even though you are Amazon, if you're buying something that's a sinking ship, it's kind of a hard thing to swallow. So I don't too much blame them for not buying Toys R Us. It would have gave them a large retail footprint, but do they really want that physical retail footprint? It comes with a lot of money spent and all these other things. So I think they're doing it the right way by starting slowly with their Amazon stores. What's the Go stores where you don't have to actually pay in store, or have actual cashiers. I think they're making a right approach. Buying Whole Foods. So, I mean, they made the right decision.
I just have one question, though. Like, to that end, how do you have $6.5 billion in sales and still fold? Like, how does that even work? Mm-hmm. They sold $6.5 billion worth of toys last year.
But I think it's a downward trend. They're trending downward. So, I mean, maybe last year was one of their better years, but they're definitely trending downward. Yeah, I mean, Amazon, people buy toys off Amazon. I mean, you got to think how many sales they've lost over the last 10, 15 years because of that, man. It's definitely changing.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, my turn. So, boop, 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 boop. So we may have hit on this before, but I wanted to bring it back up. So apparently Google announced they announced this last year. How do we miss this? That it would stop automatically scanning for and analyzing the text of your Gmail messages to target you with ads. But apparently Wall Street Journal released this article that app developers are still sifting through Gmail.
Oh boy.
Apparently various third-party companies have gained users' permission to scan their inboxes. In some cases, they've even allowed human employees to read people's messages. So the explanation for this is Google, they've been backsliding on privacy practices, and it came to the public like around the same time that the whole Cambridge Analytica thing that we won't really get into, that's when it kind of came to light. So, apparently this is something that you have to, I believe now you have to opt into it. But, you may want to just be careful because some applications that you download, or if you have Google, like a Google phone, some applications that you download, how when you install applications like blah, 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 need your permission to blah, blah, blah. You have to be really careful because you can inadvertently, allow some company to read your email, and you may not even know it. So,
So my point of view on this, I think the web app itself should be freaking rock solid. Most people don't use a third party client to access Gmail on the desktop.
That is true.
So, I just think the web app should be absolutely rock solid. I'm glad that they've removed ads because that always felt dirty about seeing ads in my Gmail. So I'm glad that's gone. I know a couple of years ago, Microsoft came out with this anti-Google campaign about Google's reading your emails thing. So I think that kind of skewed them into changing some of this. But back to your point, like when you look at apps that you're installing on your phone, why would you use anything other than the Gmail app? I just don't trust nobody with my email, man.
Well, one of the examples they gave, and I'm going to see if I can find this. One of the examples they gave is there's an app called Ernie that promises to save you money by scanning your inbox for evidence of purchases on items that have dropped in price so that you can get a refund or credit card or blah, 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 blah. So they not only scan your email, but they partners. It also partners with ReturnPath to allow ReturnPath to collect and process your emails as well. So ReturnPath uses that data to tell its corporate clients, such as Overstock.com, about your email reading behavior so that they can hone and better target their marketing emails. So like this kind of runs deep. Yeah. It's a little bit more convoluted, but apparently, like I said, it centers around this company called ReturnPath and the partners they have. It has 163 partner apps.
Is this app? Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is that the apps ask users for email, like we're saying, for email monitoring permission in exchange for some free service. I'm going to see if I can find a list of all these applications so that we can maybe post them or something. So if you have one of these apps, you may want to remove it. I'll do some more digging and see if I can find that. Yeah,
I'm almost inclined to say like there shouldn't be any reading of email on any device. If it's a third party email app, they're limited on what the OS can do to stop that. But if they allow them to read into the Gmail app or read into the OS email app, I think that's a problem. They should just like totally not allow that, period. And if Apple allows this, I'll be hugely surprised. Is this like a Google thing, like an Android thing?
I think this is more an Android thing.
Okay.
Apple's gotten really, really, really they've clamped down a lot since the whole Facebook thing. They actually removed a bunch of apps from their store because they weren't, they were shadily, I don't even know if that's a word, they were shadily handling people's data. So I would be surprised if this is an Apple problem, but if you have Gmail as your main mail app, there may be some, I don't know. But I'm assuming this is mostly an Android.
Yeah,
Android problem.
So Andy mentions of an app that basically works as a payday advance on your phone. I'm not sure what app that is. Can you tell us what app that is so we can research it?
So are you talking about the app that you want to make, or like is this something that that sounds like a cool app that but it sounds like that you would need a bunch of you'd have to be pretty liquid to like release something like that.
Yeah.
Unless you partner with like,
hey, I mean, just do like
Power Alone or something. Yeah, I don't know.
They take 30%. Why don't your app just take 30%? That's how they make their money. Oh man.
Context, Andy, please. Context.
Do we have any other news, sir? We want to jump into while we're waiting?
Of course. So speaking of Android phones, perfect segue. The Pixel 2 has been out for a while. And I'm assuming the Pixel 3 will be coming out this winter. But if you're in the market for a solid phone with a really good camera, the first Pixel has actually been being discounted.
Wow.
Like,
okay,
right now you can get a certified refurbished 128 gigabyte Pixel XL, which is the big one, on Amazon for about $300, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
It's a fantastic phone. Right now it looks like it's $317.78. And I mean, it's an awesome phone. I mean, what's the $330 on B&H Photo? So, it's a couple years old, but it's still a really solid phone. I mean, you don't really need to upgrade your phone every year.
Yeah, man. What and are you okay? And I know you have this phone, but I'm gonna say, are you okay with living in a $1,000 priced phone world? Is that something you're okay with? Of course, most people don't pay $1,000. They find deals, subsidies.
Well, I found a subsidy. I got two for that price. So
yeah.
It's not like I paid that for both. Like, I got two phones. They were 2 for $1. And like that, I don't think I would have gotten the phone if for like regular price. But $1,000 for the phone is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But this is coming from a guy who spent like over half that on a graphics card, so I might not be the right person to ask. Yeah.
Well, phone prices are getting ridiculous. It's good to see when you have something in that mid tier, which I think Pixel mostly has been. Pixel / Nexus. But get a deal. Looks like a good deal, man.
Okay, so Andy has provided us with that context, and he wasn't talking about a business idea. There's apparently there's nationwide commercials for this app called Earnin. It says, make any day payday, get your paycheck anytime you want, pay what you think is fair. Okay, this just sounds weird, but it was featured on Wired, like Life Hacker, New York Times, and NBC.
Live your life. Wait no more. Get paid today for the hours you have already worked.
This just seems too good to be true. But one thing I will say is I would just have to do some digging on this, because really, no matter what kind of app it is, it really just depends on their privacy policies. So the thing that none of us ever read, when you're installing something, it's a little simpler on a phone, because it'll tell you basically, it'll be like, what's the name of this? It'll be like, Earnin needs permission to look at your photos, read your email. It won't say read your email. It might just say something, scan or access or, collect data from other apps. It might not even say email. Just be really careful about that part of it right before you install it. It'll be a set of permissions, and it'll be like, this app needs to X, and X. And if you see anything about data collection on there, I would be like, piss off.
Yeah.
No, I'm not installing you.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
So be really
check that app out.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to look for that. May have to use that. Have to use that, see?
Just talk like this. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. Plug for Earnin there. Okay. Moving on.
So, Gigabyte, single board PC is like Raspberry Pi on steroids with quad-core Intel CPU and dual LAN. So, Gigabit, the PC motherboard manufacturer, seems to be coming out with something that's very similar to a Raspberry Pi, is kind of what I'm gathering here.
Yeah, so last year they released a previous version of this. It was a dual core processor though, and basically, like it says, this is a Raspberry Pi on steroids. This is really literally just like a mini PC. So like even if you look at the board, you can see it has SATA slots. It has, I don't think it comes with RAM, so you actually have to buy RAM to put into this. And I don't know if it takes. It looks like it has a laptop DIMM slot. So yeah,
yeah.
This is basically unlike a Raspberry Pi where there's kind of limited uses. You can install Raspbian on a Raspberry Pi and like use it as a regular PC. This is more like a PC motherboard. You see, it's got a VGA port. It's got HDMI. It's got 2 LAN ports. It's got an audio jack. I mean, it's got freaking connectors for what is that? Is that USB? Like USB motherboard headers. It's got SATA. I mean, it's got everything that a normal PC would have, except the actual chipset is a SoC. It looks like it is a quad-core Celeron that can boost up to 2.2 gigahertz, which is pretty impressive. So like the reason I brought this up is because I really like the idea of small form factor computers, and if you're looking to get into that, and maybe something like a Raspberry Pi is too intimidating for you, because if you're going to use Raspberry Pi, there's no Windows. It's like you're pretty much going to be using Linux or a Linux flavor or somebody's custom. Like if you install something like MU Station to play all your old classic games, it's basically a flavor of Linux, with the software stacked on top of it. It's not as user friendly as something like this, where you can get this build you a little mini computer, and if you want to install Windows on it, you want to install Linux on it, you install whatever you want. The only catch to this is it's more powerful, but you pay a higher price. Like this is like $200.
Yeah, versus what, sub 100 for the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I think the Pi 3B Plus is like $35. So
yeah, and I think like one of the biggest benefits of this is the software chain that you're already used to if you're a Windows person.
Exactly.
It seems like you said, very, very user friendly and pretty easy to get up and running. I currently have a smoke box that somebody gave me, like a cigarette smoke box, a cigar smoke box that I want to convert into like a PC case. So I think I might be looking at this. Hope the prices come down a bit.
Yeah, I think this would be perfect for something like a home theater PC the really cool thing that I like about it is if you look at that second picture, that's the heat sink for the whole thing. It's kind of like the back of it.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's worth your time if you want to have a look. I just thought it was it.
Yeah, and it looks to be about the size of an SSD. A solid state drive. So, yeah, it's pretty freaking cool.
Good stuff. What else do we have? I think that's it. Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk about your Reddit story and we'll be done?
Oh yeah. So if you peruse Reddit, you may have already seen this, but I was browsing today and I noticed this. Oh dang, I need to post it on a Techpedition. Hang on. So basically, this guy ordered a monitor for his computer, and it was delivered by FedEx, and he wasn't home. So apparently, the FedEx person put it on his doorstep, and they put his welcome mat on top of it, I guess, to hide it from burglars.
Yeah, because that's going to hide it from the criminals.
It just looks utterly ridiculous. I mean, I guess it's a thought that counts. Like, at least he just didn't just throw it up there, but it's still pretty hilarious.
Why waste your time? Why waste your time?
There.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a 27-inch high refresh.
What's the weirdest place you've ever had a package put? Nothing too weird?
Not really. No, I can't really think of anything just ridiculous like this.
Yeah, I don't think I've had it.
What about you?
Oh, well, I mean, not weird. I've had them placed it like on my patio on the side, which I'm more than happy for them to do because it's not like sitting right in front of my door. But what show was it? It's some show where it was like 4 or 5 episodes. The whole premise was the neighborhood watch and people stealing packages, which was pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, we need a better solution. I think we've talked about it before about putting packages in trunks and stuff like that.
Yeah, Amazon has a trunk service, and I think they were doing the thing where they would have a key to your house, and then the person that delivers your package could just open the door and find your, maybe you want to make a bologna sandwich in your underwear or something, and they throw your door open and you're standing right there, slathering Miracle Whip on a piece of bread.
I got your package.
It's your monitor.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think there's no easy solution to this. One thing that would make sense, though, is if we had bigger mailboxes with locks on them. I'd give them a key to like a mailbox. Not a mailbox, or just a package. Or a package box. You know how back in the day they had the ice box where the Iceman would deliver the ice?
Wait. They did?
Maybe that was in the house though. That's a horrible example because the ice box was in the house. But yeah, you could just have a big box outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they did. Like they didn't have refrigerators. It was just they would bring you ice. To put in your ice box. That's why, ice box.
And it wouldn't have to be anything that, if somebody wants to steal something, they're going to steal it anyway. So, it seems like that's something they could do as part of your Amazon membership. We give you this big metal container to put stuff in.
Actually, I have, like, on our front porch, I have this big box, this big plastic box, but I wouldn't mind putting a big metal box out there and putting a lock on it and, like, here's the key. You want to drop my stuff in there? I ordered some golf clubs a couple of days ago. And I'm really worried that they're just like not going to knock on the door and they're just going to leave them because USPS is going to be delivering. Like, I'm just worried because it's obviously not going to fit.
Leave them in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously not going to fit in my mailbox. So I'm worried they're just going to just leave them on my porch and not even ring the doorbell or something.
Myself, I'd rather they just leave it. I'm in an apartment, so if they don't leave it, I have to go to the office, and it'd be like 2 or 3 days later before I actually get it sometimes. So I'm like, just leave it at my door. If they steal it, I'll figure it out. I've never had a package stolen yet, so hopefully that never happens. But should we talk about Andy's story here? Andy said they put a package in my car once. The door was unlocked, but it was still creepy.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
Oh, wow. A sandwich is not a sandwich.
Oh, no, he's not. Apparently, Andy's not a fan of Miracle Whip.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I like Miracle Whip.
So I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for all the people in the chat. Andy, Kyle that jumped in. Thanks for joining us and your comments to make it a little bit more lively. So, guys, if you want to send us feedback and want us to talk about a particular topic, please send feedback in to fans@techpedition.com. And to find more about our podcast and everything we do, just go to techpedition.com. Anything you want to talk about, a plug, man?
Not really. Just keep gaming, man. We'll see you next week.
Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition.
I can't beat that. I just smells burnt and dusty.
Hey guys, don't miss an episode of the Techpedition Podcast. For more information, go to techpedition.com/subscribe. TECHPEDITION.com.